Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Cooking in Times of Corona. On today's episode, we're making fried rice. Fried rice is the perfect way to get rid of scrap veggies that you have in your fridge or to use frozen veggies. It's also really filling and you can add any protein to it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of ghee into my pan. Ghee is just clarified butter, which means all the milk solids have been removed. But if you don't have ghee, just use butter, or you can use whatever fat you prefer. So just swirl it around the pan. And then over here, I have some tofu and some broccoli. If you don't have tofu, that's fine, don't put it in. You can literally use whatever veggies you have. And I'm adding the tofu in first because I want it to get nice and crispy before I add the rice. As soon as the tofu's golden, we'll move on to the rest of the veggies. Okay, so our tofu's starting to get a little bit of color, which is what we want. And the reason why I do this first is I want it to get a little crispy, and I want it to get that little bit of butter flavor. Tofu doesn't have that much flavor, so this is a really good time to add it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Next, I'm gonna add my broccoli, which is gonna be my longest cooking veg, but depending on which veggies you're using, you're gonna have to use your judgment and cook the veggies in stages. Like for example, if you have harder veggies like carrots or potatoes, this would be the time to add it. And any softer veggies that take less time to cook, you're gonna add them at the end. This broccoli is raw, and I cut it pretty small so that it would cook faster. So I'm really hungry. I'm just gonna let it get a little bit of color, and then we're gonna move on to the rest of the veggies. So at this stage, I'm going to grate some ginger. And the reason why I'm grating it is because I don't wanna dirty my cutting board. So I'm gonna get the same result without having to clean my cutting board later. So I'm just gonna go straight in there with the ginger. You can probably tell I use a lot of ginger, and I'm just trying to keep my immune system up because ginger has a lot of great antiviral and anti-inflammatory properties. This is a little bit of garlic too, which is also a great immune booster. All right, so ginger and garlic are in. Next, I'm gonna hit it with some frozen peas and carrots. And I'm just gonna go straight, oh, random potato, great. I'm just gonna go straight in with these. And I'm not gonna pre-cook them or anything. Peas are so small and they're already pre-cooked in the bag. So I'm just gonna heat them through, and that should be enough. I like my veggies to still have some texture to them, so that's why I didn't pre-cook the broccoli either. So this is a great way to make a different meal out of leftovers and stretch your rice while adding tons of nutrients and veggies. Season everything. So these are pretty much thawed out, and at this stage, I'm just gonna push my veggies aside because I wanna try to get them to stop cooking. I'll add a little bit more ghee right in the middle of my pan. Swirl it around. Add the rice in the middle. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I want the rice to get a little bit of color and to get kind of crispy in there. Just let that go for 30 seconds to a minute until the rice starts getting a little color, and then we'll add the rest of the stir-fry ingredients. Why is this dish so great and versatile? We use leftover rice, leftover or frozen veggies, and pantry ingredients. Liquid aminos or soy sauce if you have soy sauce. I like a little sriracha, whatever hot sauce you have is perfect. And a little bit of honey or maple syrup or agave if you don't have any of those. My rice has been sitting for a little bit. I'm just gonna check it. Yep. So rice is a little golden brown. I'm gonna stir the veggies right in the middle and hit it with my liquid aminos, little sriracha, and I like adding a little honey just to add a different element so it's not just salty. Plus the honey caramelizes in the pan and it sort of gives the rice like a rich caramelly flavor. Stir it around. If you're not sure about seasoning, just taste it. And I'm gonna push my pan aside so the rice stops cooking. Leave one side of the pan on the heat. I'm gonna add a little bit butter. And cooking the egg, same pan. I don't want to do too many dishes. And I love topping my food with a runny egg because it becomes like a sauce for the rice. Plus I'm adding protein, which is great. And right here, I have a little nub of cilantro that I'm gonna salvage. These are the stems, but they have just as much flavor as the tops. So I'm gonna use them just to brighten up the dish a little bit. Guess I had to use my cutting board. Oh well. Chop it up real quick. This will add a bright, fresh flavor to my rice. My egg's almost ready, so I'm gonna turn off the pan and serve up some of that rice. Some cilantro right on top. Come to mama. A little bit of salt on my egg. And there we go. Fried veggie rice with a runny egg. Enjoy!